Hello everyone, today I'm going to farm Stratholme to find out exactly how much gold a mage can make from this dungeon. As you can see, I'm starting with completely empty bags and zero gold. Everything I earn during this test will come directly from the farm itself. Most of the green items will be disenchanted, and the Runecloth will be turned into bolts, then crafted into items and disenchanted as part of the tailoring and enchanting shuffle to maximize the value of the materials. I've also set my hearthstone to light Hope Chapel, so I can reset the dungeon quickly between runs. And since I'm a mage, I can always teleport to Stormwind or Shatrath whenever I need to sell, craft, or process the loot. I'm not going to explain the route or the farming method in this video. If you want to learn exactly how I do the pulls, the path I take, and how to farm the dungeon efficiently, I've already made a dedicated guide for that. You'll find the link in the description and at the end of this video. For this video, the goal is simple. Farm the dungeon, process all the loot, and see how much gold we end up with. With that out of the way, let's get started. If you enjoy gold making content like this, consider subscribing. More than 90% of viewers are not subscribed, and it really helps the channel grow so I can make more guides, farm, and tests like this. Once my bags are full and I need to vendor repair or clear some space, I use a layer swap to save time. What I do is type layer in the channel, get invited, and then leave the group. That gives me a ghetto hearthstone and teleports me out of the dungeon after a minute. The important part is timing it correctly. You want to request the layer invite right as you're starting a pool. If you do it too late, you'll end up waiting around doing nothing. If you do it too early, you risk getting teleported before you've finished the pool or looted everything. When timed properly, the teleport happens almost exactly when you're done with the pool, which keep downtime to a minimum. Once I'm out, I vendor everything, repair, and for you, you can mail everything to an alt, but personally, I have to keep everything in this character for the video. After that, it's just a quick run back to the dungeon and we're ready to continue farming. The entire process usually takes around a minute and a half when done efficiently, which helped me keep the overall gold per hour much higher. When I get items that are worth selling on the auction house, the process is pretty straightforward. Since I'm playing a mage, I simply teleport to Stormwind and list everything that has market value. Throughout these runs, you'll pick up quite a few items that are worth auctioning, such as scrolls, some good BOEs, and various items found in chests. While I'm there, I also like to stock up on purification potions. They're not always necessary, but having a few on hand can make certain pulls much smoother and safer. I also use some AFK time efficiently by shuffling the Runecloth into enchanting material. This way, even when I'm not actively inside the dungeon, I'm still adding value to the loot I've already collected. Once everything has been crafted, disenchanted, and listed, I get a layer invite while standing in the stockades. After leaving the group, the layer swap teleports me back to Light's Hope Chapel, allowing me to return to Stratholme, continue farming with minimal downtime. And that's the final pool. At this point, all the runs are done, all the mobs are dead, and it's time to take a look at what we've accumulated so far. Just by looking at the bags, I'm already sitting at around 600 gold, and that is all coming from raw gold and vendor loot. What's interesting is that this isn't even the final result yet. I still have loot from this run, and all the items that I already put in the auction house previously. So before we calculate the total value of the farm, let's finish looting everything and see how much gold is still left to collect. Now let's head back to Stormwind and finish processing everything. The first thing I'm going to do is sell all of the remaining vendor trash. After that, let's take a look at the auction house and see what didn't sell yet. It looks like we have quite a few items that didn't sell. There are some enchanting materials, a few scrolls, and several green and blue BOE items. For the sake of keeping this test as accurate as possible, I'm only going to count gold that has already been realized. In other words, gold that's already in my bags or from auctions that have already sold. I'm not going to assign any value to the items that are still sitting in my bags waiting to be listed or the ones that have been already. Those will eventually sell as well, but for this video I only want to count the gold that has been generated. So let's collect everything from the mailbox and see where our total stands. Dream dust. I also got a crawl blade that sold for 20 gold. Let me just write dust here and take all the dusts, either illusion or dream. Okay, let's just now check for the essences. I got some greater essences that sold and some lesser. Let's take everything. And now the shards. Okay, now I still have some also. I still have some dusts. Some more essences. Some more dusts. It feels like it's infinite. Some more large brilliant shards. Some more dusts. More essences. More dusts. More shards. And even more dusts. So, some aquamarines. Some leather that I found in chest. Also solid stone found in chest. I also got one stockade poldards. This is a card. This is a cloaked Juno shadow. It's a BOE blue. This is a staff for frost damage, 19 gold. Because sometimes the good BOE item that I know can sell, I always try to sell them in the auction house. Because sometimes you can get sweet items like this one, 19 gold. And also this is shadow resistance gear. I know that shadow resistance gear sell very well because of the first boss in Mana Tombs. The tank need a lot of shadow resistance. And also the first boss in Arcatraz. So a lot of tanks will buy some cheap green shadow resistance gear. And they're cheap for them buying it. But it's 23 gold for you for a BOE item that if you disenchant it, you will only get 4 gold. And that's the final result. Starting from completely empty bags and 0 gold, this Stratholme farm generated a total of 1300 gold. This includes raw gold, vendor loot, auction house sale, and all processed cloth. Of course, prices will vary depending on your server, but this gives a solid idea of what the farm is capable of when everything is optimized properly. Overall, Stratholme remains one of the most consistent gold farm in TBC Anniversary, even for mages, especially if you process your loot instead of just vendoring everything. If you want the full route and method I use, you can check the guide linked in the description and at the end of the video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.